Gentani, and welcome to another episode of the Godfather Part II Minute. Oh, not used to it, are we?
Damn.
Should we start over? Let's start over. I believe in America.
I believe in Part 2.
I believe in America, Part 2.
We should have had Buonasera start the second movie. He's still alive, right?
Well, it depends. When do you... He's probably not alive at the beginning of GF. He's probably not alive when Vito is 4 years old in Sicily.
Oh, yeah, not there.
So,
yeah.
Or do you think he should be like the narrator?
We touched on this a little bit.
Did we really?
A couple minutes ago we did, because you were saying you wanted to have Don Corleone saying, I was just a little boy when my older brother was killed.
Yeah, totally.
Let me take you back in time.
Yeah.
It's a different age.
Oh, yeah. Did we discuss this? How when he would be... Like, you didn't like it because when would he be saying
it's just cheesy because he's dead,
right? But I think that's what makes it okay.
It doesn't work. Should we start again?
Let's start again.
All right.
I believe in America. I believe in minute number 4 of the Godfather Part II minute.
Godfather Minute, brothers.
Minuto numero 4.
Oh, man, you went feminine. You should have gone masculine.
Is it quattro?
Quattro.
Well, that's the thing. It throws me off how some of them are the same as Spanish.
Some of the early numbers, the young numbers are the same.
Is that what they call them, the young numbers?
No, I just made that up.
That's a great name for them, though.
I
should totally call them that.
The young numbers. That's it. That's
our band name.
That's our band name. The young numbers. Actually, when you get to be 55 years old, you have to quit.
Quit what, the band?
The band, the young numbers.
It's a little bit Menudo. How old do you have to be?
Well, you can't be older than 55.
Oh, 55.
Yeah, that's the young numbers.
No, Sammy Hagar? Is that what that song was about? I can't drive at 55?
I never thought about it. Wow, is that an age thing? Or is it... I thought it was just a speed limit.
Yeah, I think he was literally that was his argument to the judge. He was up before the judge in the morning, and he had to...
You think that song's going to be dated at some point because speed limit? Because first of all, we won't be driving.
Yeah, there won't be.
You won't have to monitor your speed.
Wait, do you mean because we'll be like using jetpacks and flying, or because it'll be like a Road Warrior scenario where there is the speed limit is like, what? Why would you have a speed limit? That's ridiculous.
I would neither. I was going that
neither.
They're going to be driverless cars.
Oh, but they wouldn't have a speed limit, or like he
you
can't drive 55 because no one drives.
Yeah, it'll just turn to I can't drive, and then a guitar fill.
So it was like a futuristic. It was a futurist.
But I like the Road Warrior angle.
Okay,
I like the Road Warrior angle, Rosado. That's funny to think of all the characters in a Road Warrior setting.
All the Godfather characters?
Yeah, like Frankie Five Angels.
Maybe that should be one of our recurring features is we pick another movie. I feel like we've done that before. Pick another movie and use the same characters in that like a mashup sort of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we have done that. We've done Star Wars, I know.
We've done Star Wars,
But yeah, Mad Max would be a good.
Yeah, well, especially in these early scenes in Sicily. It's very barren. Yeah. It's dry. It already feels like the Road Warrior.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So tell us about numero 4.
Here's the setup for minute number 4, if you're following along at home. The echoing sounds of gunfire. Would you say the echoing sounds of gunfire are replaced, or the echoing sounds of gunfire is replaced?
It's the sounds.
So it would be are replaced. Are replaced by the wails of a Sicilian woman announcing to the world that 14-year-old Paolo Andolini has been killed by the black hand of Don Francesco. Mrs. Andolini arrives at the armed fortress of the criminal capo with her remaining boy Vito silently in tow.
Mm-hmm. Vito in tow. In Vito. Silently in tow.
So weird question.
Uh-huh.
And this is the first thing I wrote down. I don't know where these crazy ideas come to my head. I'm just sick.
I don't know what to expect because you are sick. I don't know where you come up with this stuff.
I'm very sick.
Oh, you're sick.
I'm very sick.
You got me. I thought you were.
You thought I was really sick.
I thought you were really sick, but you were really sick.
No, I'm really sick. Once they realized, did they just take Paolo and just put him in the same coffin and just continue?
Oh, you are so sick. Well, and what people don't know is there are already 3 other cousins who died earlier that day in that coffin.
Wow, that's a
casket.
And you know that the Sicilian Buonasera is all like, I could charge them extra for this. I need assurances that you're not going to put more bodies in this coffin.
Oh no, that's why Buonasera went to America. He's like, I'm losing money.
Oh, because everyone was just cheaping out.
They're like doubling up on their funerals.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they need to pass a law that says only one body per.
Yeah.
One body per. And they should bring an extra coffin to any funeral just in case.
I have one in the car. I'll go get it. I have an extra. You're in luck. I have an extra one in the car. I'll give you a discount. It's used, but you know.
You never watched Green Acres, did you?
No.
I assume one of the recurring jokes on it was there was a guy who was like a junk dealer who would come around and his always thing was like, I have one on the truck. So it's almost like you're doing that where you're like, no, I need a coffin. I just happen to have one on my truck. That was his gimmick. So yeah, that's his.
We'll try to use that.
Yeah, there you go, Mr. Haney.
Now I know why the Paolobearers and the band, they all go running when they hear the gunshots.
Why?
Because they're like, wow, I don't want to have to carry even another body in there.
And so the musician's like, I'm not doing 2 funerals for the price of one.
Yeah.
So that's why everyone just scatters.
The musicians union said, you hear gunfire, you run. We're not gonna.
I ain't no band leader.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna stick around here?
Yeah, I heard those gunshots.
I don't like those gunshots, Rosato.
I take that as an insult. I want my own funeral. Hey, before I forget,
yes,
would you? Because we were just talking about a used casket. Would you mind being buried in a used casket?
Like a rental?
No, one that's been used before.
Oh.
Well, let's go rental. I didn't even think about that.
Well, yeah, because you know what they say.
What?
You know what they say.
What do they say?
Why Corley rent it when you can Corleone it?
I did know what they said. Oh my gosh.
I always make money for my partners.
Well, I was whooping and hollering because I'm glad you finally used it in context.
Oh, that's true.
Remember, you were just shooting that one off any old time you remembered it. But seriously, would you mind?
Yes. No.
You wouldn't mind?
No. In fact, I would. I'm one of those people who wants as little money spent on my posthumous arrangements as possible.
Okay.
Are you trying to get to know the real Alex Robinson with these questions?
Who is the real Alex Robinson?
Excellent. I'm glad you triggered it. Triggered the Alex Robinson music. But is there a line? I'm
trying to do as many of the music. One episode, I'm going to get all of the songs. The overdub alert.
No, well, it's got to work though. You can't just say it.
Okay.
But do you have a line that you don't cross, that you wouldn't cross? For example, if it were Ted Bundy's coffin, would you say, I don't want to be buried in Ted Bundy's coffin?
No, if anything, I feel almost more like that would make it even more like cool.
Really?
Well, just because I'm like,
he's in there with you, you know.
What's he going to do? Bring me back to life and kill me again?
You never know. That was his thing, wasn't it?
But, I definitely would want
serial resurrection and killing.
I definitely would want a little flag. I want 2 little flags inside my coffin. I want one I can pull that says, "Hey, I am still alive. Get me out of here." And one that says, "Hey, I am still alive, and Ted Bundy is in here with me, and he's still alive. Get us out of here." Well, get me out of here. I don't care what you do with him. Get me out of here.
Well, then you have a third flag.
Or what's that?
It's blank because you'll have Ted Bundy write on it whatever he wants to communicate.
Wow. Is there like a light inside the coffin so you can see which one you're pulling?
Well, that's an extra cost.
Oh,
Yeah, I see. We're innovating Buenos Aires industry. I think the flags should be dry erase flags, like dry erase boards, so you can write different messages, send them up. They write a response. It comes back down. You can communicate.
Wow.
Like, hey.
Have you ever had an MRI?
Yes.
I just had an MRI.
Oh, yeah? Did it turn out okay?
As far as I know, it's nothing serious. It's just a pinched nerve in my neck.
Those are the, what? I thought an MRI is one of those like army meals. Those,
You want K rations?
yeah, those
Okay.
ready to,
I don't know.
those
I don't know what
MRI?
you're going for.
there's some abbreviation like that. Ready to eat meals? Ready to
R-E-
REMs? That's not it.
REMI?
Something like
REI.
that. R.
Ready to eat.
What was the result of your MRI?
Well, I was just going to ask you just because I was talking with someone and they were talking about how claustrophobic it felt to be in one of those MRI
Yeah,
machines.
I do remember feeling that.
Yeah.
Because you have to stay in there a few minutes and you can't move. And they stress that over and over. Don't move or else you got to start over. Don't move, Anthony. When you see the orange mouth monster, don't move.
The worst part is when I was done, Tatalia gestured over to the MRI person. He tore all the film out of the MRI machine.
So you had to do it over again.
Yeah, I had to do the whole thing over again.
Well, you know what, Alex? I think we have people on the MRI film payroll. We can get them to give you a clean bill of health, no pinched nerves.
That's true. They probably
They might like an MRI like that, right, Tom?
don't know. They might. They might.
It's not personal, Sonny. It's medical.
So it's deductible.
It's deductible. Talk about a copay.
Here's something else I wrote down. Oh, so no, I have no objection to be buried in Ted Bundy's coffin or anyone else's coffin.
Okay,
I thought you were going to say like some political figure I disagreed with, like Hitler's coffin.
That's where I was going to go next.
Oh, okay.
I was going to go extreme Hitler.
I guess, you know what? Even then, I can't think of anyone famous whose coffin I would not want to be buried in.
Would you object to them still being in there, or would you insist that you're alone?
I would mention it, but I wouldn't insist. No, well, so would I be buried with Hitler?
No, Hitler's in the casket. It was Mussolini all along. Yes, in the casket. People would be coming and spitting on your grave.
You know what? I'm still doing it.
You're
Screw
still
it.
doing it.
I'm still doing it.
Okay.
Because it would be such a Ripley's Believe It or Not kind of thing.
And you would draw your own Ripley's Believe It cartoon before dying, and that would be the Ripley's Believe It or
That
Not.
would be the part of the thing. And he drew this very cartoon.
That would be the cat. The hook.
Wow. That is the strangest story. The cartoonist who was buried with Hitler, and his last act was to draw the Ripley's Believe It or Not about being buried in the tomb of Hitler.
I'm going to commission you to draw that. Alex.
Wow.
Maybe not Hitler, because it's still hard to joke about Hitler. Do someone like...
I'm gonna go one further and say that I'm buried alive, and it's me I'm trying to gesture the flag. And the problem is, as I'm doing the flag, it's a big swastika, so everyone's like, boo, and they're all like, and I'm like, oh,
you're trying to tell them you're alive.
yeah, I'm trying to let
It's
them
actually a
know I'm alive
swastika.
in here, and they think Hitler's alive in there trying to get out.
So
So
they
like,
just
don't
put-
let him out, don't let him out.
They just put more dirt on there.
They jump up and down on top of it. Oh, frustrating.
God.
All this for a free coffin. Casket.
Whoa, no one
Sorry.
said anything about free. We're not communists.
All right.
Okay. Wow. We got a little sidetracked.
Yeah,
you
well,
just-
we're talking about funerals. So it's pretty. It's
yeah.
in the minute. What else are
Yeah.
we going to talk about? They're just screaming in Italian
That's
the whole
true.
time.
Yeah, we didn't really. I guess you described in the opening what we see, right?
Yeah, that the lady's going, they killed
Screaming.
Paolo.
Yeah.
One last thing about them burying him in the other guy's coffin is that they would be Paolobearers.
Oh. I like it. You know what, those pallbearers gotta carry that casket now. You know why?
Why?
While they still got the muscle. Oh, especially because there are more bodies in there, right? What else you got?
Have you heard of ring theory in the Star Wars universe? There's this thing called ring theory,
Ring theory.
which is
I
that
think your little antibiotic clears that up.
when in the Star Wars universe, people said that when George Lucas did the original 3 movies, and that when he did the last 3, the prequels, he purposely had each movie mirror one of the original movies. So, for instance, again, it goes backwards. Star Wars, the Phantom Menace is paired up with Return of the Jedi, Attack of the Clones mimics
All right.
Empire Strikes Back, and Revenge of the Sith echoes A New Hope.
Okay. In what way?
Well, like for instance, I'm trying to think now of examples.
And why is it called ring theory?
It's called ring theory because it's not like
This
it's
is like a mirror. Should be a mirror theory.
well, it's a ring in that the sort of like if you picture like a bunch of circles going smaller.
Oh, toward the middle.
Yeah, then it would be like the 2 movies that are
I
back to
see,
back
yeah.
are like a circle
I
with
see,
each
yeah.
other, and then and so on and so. Just certain things like certain shots that take place in one movie will be kind of mirrored, but with a twist
Yeah.
in its corresponding movie. It's not exact. The argument is whether this is a Dark Side of the Moon,
Side
Wizard
of
of Oz
Oz,
thing,
yeah.
where like you could do any movies and
Yeah.
it would parallel. I think there's something to it.
Oh,
George
interesting.
Lucas
You
is
buy it?
I do think so because I feel like George Lucas is a very technical filmmaker, and so I could see him applying that structure to it as a way of kind of entertaining himself
That's
or
like
whatever.
one of his artistic expressions.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And anyway, the whole reason I brought this up was that this movie starts. This scene echoes the scene of at the very end of Godfather 3, where but this time it's a mother is crying over she's losing her son, and at the end of GF3, it's Michael is crying because his daughter gets killed.
Yeah.
And they're both dying for something that they had nothing to do with, that they were just innocent victims of their father's hubris. So
but it's flipped.
it's see, so it's
Yeah,
like
that
it's
kind
like
of
a
thing. Yeah,
So I
interesting.
don't know. I just thought that was kind of
Yeah, that's really cool.
and obviously Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas were not partners, I guess business partners they were for a while,
Yeah,
but
they worked
creatively
together.
they influenced each other.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there was some element of that to GF3.
We'll have to remember this later in GF2. Does Anthony have a problem not talking?
Huh.
Or did I make that up in my head?
I don't remember. Well, there's definitely
Maybe I'm thinking of where Connie says, Anthony, go hug your mother, and he doesn't go, and
Right,
he's not
yeah.
saying anything. He's just totally quiet.
Yeah.
Because pretty soon we're going to see that Vito doesn't talk.
Doesn't talk, right?
Yeah.
Although it is interesting that Vito does sing, which then Anthony becomes a professional singer at the end of the thing. So,
in a ring theory.
ring
I like it.
theory.
We'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, very cool.
well, you got any new notes?
Yeah. Oh, hey, I have a quick cleanup item.
Oh.
I'll bring that up later at the end.
All right,
Let's talk
clean it
about
up.
this minute. No,
Oh,
let's
okay.
talk about it later.
Okay. All right.
I like how you can't see Paolo's face.
Yeah, he's face down in a
Isn't that
very kind of
interesting?
awkward position with his arms
Yeah.
kind of like it twisted up.
Yeah, his leg bent back, his arms twisted,
Yeah,
his face down on the rocks, and you never see his face,
No.
but he's right up against the camera. and the characters, his mother
Yeah.
and Vito and some other mourners kind of go running toward you, the viewer. Vito and the mourners stay behind, but the mother comes right up. It's just like a great shot.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
love how personal it is, how
Right.
intimate and personal, because she's there weeping.
Yeah.
But also anonymous because you don't see his face.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just such an odd experience watching that.
Yeah, it's very
And I think Coppola does that too. He does hide faces throughout the movies.
you have any other examples?
Yeah, I mean we haven't gotten to it yet, but in
Oh, we'll get there. But
when Hyman Roth meets with Michael, you really don't get a good view of Hyman Roth's wife, although she's talking to
Yeah.
Michael. Hey, would you like a
Yeah.
sandwich? Come on in.
Interesting.
And she comes in and says, oh, the TV's too loud. But you never, at least in those scenes, you really don't see her face.
right.
It's always shot low or from behind.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah,
And also,
really
I guess in at the beginning of Godfather, it's like a full minute where you just see Marlon Brando from the back.
Yeah.
You hear him talking from off camera. You don't see his face. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's very effective in some ways. Let's see. What else do I got? I thought it was really interesting. Paolo is dressed for a funeral.
Uh-huh.
And it made me wonder, was he a part of this funeral procession mourning his father? And that's why he was dressed that way? I mean, he was dressed nicely.
Yeah.
He was wearing all black, and it was clearly nicer clothes like all the other mourners. It wasn't just like farming clothes. And it just made me wonder, was he part of the funeral procession and then kind of peeled off to try to...
Well, don't they say in the opening caption something like he fled to the hills or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Weird.
he's a 30-second jog away from them.
Well, yeah, it
They
does.
run right over this little rocky crag. And they're
And
right
how
there.
does that lady find him so quickly?
Yeah.
Because the gunshots break out, and then she's like, "Oh, he's dead."
Yeah.
Like, what
They
did?
shot him. Yeah.
Well, so you think they shot him?
No, that's what I think she says.
Yeah,
they
she said,
murdered
yeah,
him.
yeah,
yeah.
murderers. Yeah. What is the order of operations, and what is the who is standing where when do they drop him off and then start shooting and then run away?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It struck me because he's dressed for a funeral.
If anything, you think they would have left him out as like bait, so then when everyone went over and were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Paolo," then they would have started shooting people. But maybe they didn't really want to kill people; they just wanted to shoot to scare everyone and then find.
Yeah, well, I think they just wanted to kill the offspring of...
Right. So why did they stop shooting?
Oh, after they killed Paolo?
Well,
guess-
I don't know necessarily if they killed Paolo there or not. Like what?
Yeah, I don't know. And the book is silent on
He
that.
wasn't
They
part of the
didn't-
funeral
Paolo doesn't even
procession.
exist in the book.
Right. It's like he never existed.
Yeah. All that's left is their friendship, Alex.
Poor Uncle Paolo.
Yeah.
You won't see him no more.
Wow. Is this going to be one of those weird things that it makes so little sense that it's now in modern critical circles being interpreted as a weird dream and he didn't exist?
Or he really did die. Vito did die on Sicily, and the rest is all a dream.
Oh, wow.
He died of smallpox in the
Yeah.
hospital. And this is,
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
yeah, I don't understand the
Yeah, me neither.
so
I wonder if we can find out. Is there any resource on that?
I don't. It's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Like unless you talk to Francis Ford Coppola himself and say, "What
Yeah.
did they kill him?" Anyway,
Yeah. Is he accepting emails?
I don't know.
Francis Ford Coppola?
We should write to his winery. Just hey, we just have a quick question about The Godfather.
Yeah. Big fans. Quick question.
I think we prove it, but we do this podcast, which is you know,
Yeah.
we've probably spent more time talking about The Godfather than Francis Ford Coppola has.
Whoa. Do you think we've spent more?
I don't really think that's true, but
Do you think we spent more time talking about The Godfather than he spent making the movie?
yes,
Really?
No, I don't think that's a great question.
That's
if you take into account
crazy.
editing and everything, no, I don't think so.
He personally.
Yes.
Yes, we spent more time.
Yes, he personally spent more time making The Godfather than we have talking about it.
We should have one of those chess clocks going, and then when we reach the amount of time he's spent on making the films, then we have to stop.
Well, but we have no way of knowing exactly. Like, it's not like when he went to sleep, he stopped the clock, so we don't know how much.
That's why we got to email him. You think it's Francis at francisfordcoppola.com? Is it that simple?
Administrator at Francis Ford Coppola.
Or it's probably support at godfather.com.
Oh boy, we sure are funny. Well, if you want to hear the rest of this episode, head on over to godfatherminute.com/support. And you can hear, that would seem like a long episode.
Well, you get a lot of bonus content.
All right, so
Waltz makes a comeback again.
Oh my gosh, for just $1 a show, you can hear additional content every week. So go over to godfatherminute.com/support.
And in this particular episode, I think you'll hear what if Paolo had not died.
Whoa.
We go into tons of scenarios how the whole Godfather universe would have been drastically altered, especially if his brother had become an Andrew Dice Clay like character back in America.
Yeah, so you definitely want to head on over to our Patreon thing.
Yeah, so Jack and Jill, head up that hill and then go to godfatherminute.com/support. Wasn't that Andrew Dice Clay's bit?
Sure was.
All right.
You know, Al Pacino was in the movie Jack and Jill.
Oh, is that the Andrew Sandler, Adam Sandler
The Adam
movie?
Sandler movie where he played his own twin sister.
Oh my God.
And Al Pacino is a guy who falls in love with Adam
Jill?
Sandler in a dress.
Wow. Didn't
Anyway,
know that.
we'll talk more about that next time here on the Godfather Minute.